Hey Stitch Cutie, welcome to the video tutorial for block 3 of your quilt block using your embroidery machine. It's the cute little ghost that is block 3 on your Boo Crew quilt. So you have everything you need in this cute little box that came in the mail, so you're going to unpack that. What you'll have is all of your pre-fused laser cut applique pieces. I've gone on and peeled the white backing off of them so they're ready to go, and I sat them in a jar so I don't lose them. And then you have your pattern with instructions for regular machine applique if you want to use your sewing machine. However, this is the video tutorial for using your embroidery files, which are that fun add-on to this club. So you also have your fabrics. And so what I'm going to do first is just give them a quick press because they do get wrinkled in shipping, of course. So what I have set up in front of me is a Steady Betty in front of my embroidery machine. I have an 8x12 hoop loaded with a tearaway stabilizer, and then I have my favorite little iron, this little steam fast iron. I love this little guy. And then let's talk about the threads that you need this month for block 3. So we have black, which is a sulky 40 weight rayon. It's 1005. You have white, which again is 1001. You have the little ghost hand color, which is 1019. You have the orange. I love this orange. It's so bright. It's 1168. And then we have the butterfly gold, which is 0567. I love this color. I use it all the time. So those are the thread colors we need. I'm just going to set them to the side. Now what I've done is I've loaded the file in my machine for the block 3. And the very first color I need to load is black. We're going to use black through quite a few steps. So go on and get your machine loaded and prompt your machine to stitch the first step, and I'll be back to show you what that is. So this very first step stitches one straight line. So let's put our fabric in place using this line as a guide. So what you're gonna do is take your orange fabric, it's 9 by 10, you're gonna line it up where it's 9 inches across the bottom, 10 going up. And I have my hoop turned sideways on the screen just so it fits in the shot. And you can see what I'm doing is I'm lining this right up to that stitched line, and I'm gonna go over just a hair, or right at it. And then I'm gonna put my black right to it. Now this is a Bella Solid black fabric, so there is no right side or wrong side, so you're good there. But so you want to have your orange facing up towards you, and then you'll have your black right on it. Again, we're just lining right up with this stitched line. I'm going to take my handy dandy little transport tape, and I'm going to do just a little piece of tape to anchor it. And then I'm going to prompt my machine to do the next step, which is going to go 1/4 inch up, and it's going to give us a perfect seam. So we're making our block in the hoop. So you can see you have your stitched line. So all you need to do now is just gently remove that little piece of tape that you used. And just get that off. Whoop. One more little piece to grab. There we go, and get it off your fingers. That's the trickiest part of taking the tape off. I somehow tape myself every time. So get the tape out of the way. And now on top of your Steady Betty, or on top of your pressing surface, you're going to take this fabric and gently press it down. And just give it a quick press so you have a nice pressed 1/4 inch seam in the hoop. Don't you love it? And so now I am gonna put just a little bit of tape down here, just like one little piece, and I'll do one piece up here at the top. So now what the machine is gonna do, you're gonna keep that black thread in, you're gonna put your hoop back on, and the machine is going to base this in place. It's gonna give us our trim line for when we're done, and it's gonna give us our first few outlines of our applique pieces. So now you have your first round of applique pieces outlined, so let's iron those on. Again, I'm turning my hoop sideways just so it fits in the shot. Now the first piece we're going to iron on are the little legs of our ghost. It's a really cute stripe by Riley Blake. It's 1/8 inch little orange and white stripes. Super, super cute. So we'll iron that. Then we're going to put the right hand of our ghost in place. There we go. And you just want to make sure your piece is right inside that stitched line. And then we have the top of our candy corn, the white. There we go. And then the cute hat. And we cut this on the on a 45-degree angle so that you have a really cute cross hatch with that gingham. There we go. And the last piece of this step is our star. So we'll put it right in place. And when I have something that has a lot of little pokies like a star does, I'll keep my hands in place so that I make sure my star doesn't shift. Okay, so now again with that black thread on our machine, we're gonna put the hoop back on, and the machine is gonna give us a few more pieces to iron on. And now we have a second round of pieces to iron on. On this step, it's gonna be really important that we iron the pieces on in a certain order. So follow along with me, and we'll make sure that our little ghost is perfect. So the first piece I'm gonna put down are the shoes. So just make sure they're lined up, press them in place. Now I'm gonna do the hand on the left side of my ghost. Look at his cute little hand. So cute. There we go. And we're gonna do the little candy corn piece, which is this orange check. There we go. Now we'll do his left sleeve. And the reason we're doing it in this order is, see, his hand needs to be underneath the sleeve. So you wanna make sure that you put it down in the right order, or you're gonna have a ghost with a hand sticking out the wrong way. And that wouldn't be good. Now we'll put his right sleeve in place. There we go. Now we'll do the top of his hat, the little hat brim, I should say. I guess it's really the bottom of his hat. And again, with the long piece, I make sure I have it in place. I just kind of put my hands on both sides to make sure it doesn't wiggle. There we go. And just work your way from one side to the other. There you go. And now the final piece of this step is the cute little pom-pom for the top of his hat. So again, make sure it's in place, hold it down. And another great thing about using this small little iron is you don't run the risk of burning your fingers. And a cool little trick, like if you have this in kind of the wrong spot and you want to wiggle it a little while it's still hot, just use a little pair of tweezers or something and you can kind of shift your piece. That's a fun little trick. Okay, so now we're ready to put this back on. The machine is now going to give us our ghost body, our little pumpkin, the final piece of our candy corn, and a little piece on his shoes. Okay, so we have a few more pieces to put in place, and again, it's important that we put them on in the right order. So I'm gonna put his little shoesies on first. And I know it's kind of hard to see, you probably can't see the black thread on top of the black shoe here in the video, and sorry, I'm gonna have to put my head in so I can make sure I get it lined up just right. So I'm gonna put my little left foot down, then we'll do our right foot. And again, I'm sorry, my head's coming in. Y'all are gonna see the gray hair I have in the back. It's really bad. I'm starting to get some gray hairs in the back. My mom's been kind of making fun of me. Not very nice, huh? Okay, so now we're gonna put our giant ghost body in place. And again, on something big, make sure you have it lined up everywhere. And then just start at one end and work your way to the other end to make sure that your piece stays right in place. Perfect. So cute, huh? Now we're gonna put our yellow. And we wanna make sure that we put the yellow and the pumpkin down after the body, because you can see it just ever so slightly overlaps onto the ghost body. And then our cute little pumpkin. Get him in place. There we go. So cute. Now he's starting to look like a ghost, isn't he? So now we're gonna put this back on, and the machine is gonna give us our final two placement guides, which is the cute little mouth and then the little stand that he's standing on. Okay, so let's iron our final two pieces on, and then the machine, when we put this back on, is gonna start the fun part of all the buttonhole stitching. I love watching that. It's mesmerizing to me. So much fun. Okay, so I'm just gonna make sure I have my platform in the right spot. There we go. See, great little iron. Make sure I don't burn my hands. I love it. If you guys don't have one of these irons, I highly recommend getting one. We do carry them on our website. if you need to order one. There we go, so cute. Look at his little mouth. It's adorable. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is leave that black thread on for this next step still, and the machine is gonna do a whole bunch of black buttonhole stitching for us. And then after that, we'll do a few color changes to finish up. So let's take a close-up look at how great all of our buttonhole stitching looks. So the machine has done the black now for us. Look how perfect that looks from top to bottom. I love it. So now it's time for our first thread color change, and that is going to be to white. And just to give you a heads up of the colors we're gonna go to, we're gonna go white, then to the flesh color, orange, and then the butterfly gold. So you can see the white is now stitched. The only part that's stitched in white is that little bitty piece on the candy corn, but you still gotta stitch it down. So now the next color we're gonna put on is the flesh color, which is 1019, and the machine is gonna do the two little hands on our ghost for us. So let's take a look. See, both little hands are stitched with perfect little buttonhole stitches. So cute. Now you can change your thread color on your machine to this fun orange color, which is 1168, and the machine is going to do the little pants on our ghost and then around the orange on the candy corn. Okay, so take a look, and I do want to point out, I love that how this is done. So it's really one piece for his legs, right? For his little socks or pants or whatever those are. And the machine does one little stitch right here down the middle to give the illusion of the two legs. I love it. And then the machine did the orange around the orange on your candy corn. So now for the final thread change, and that is to the butterfly gold, the 0567 color. And the machine is going to do the little yellow on the candy corn and then around the star. And then it'll be time to trim our block. Yay, do your happy dance. You're all done with block 3. It's just time to trim. I'm gonna go real quick right here so you can see all your stitching from start to finish. It looks just fantastic. Your little ghost is ready. Now remember, we don't sew any of the buttons on until after the quilt is quilted. So you've got a ways off until you have to worry about sewing any of your buttons, and the buttons do come in your finishing kit, so don't worry. So now all we're gonna do is just trim right on that stitched line all the way around. And sorry, my head's gonna have to get in here because I have to make sure I see my trim line just right. There we go. And so what I've done is I've just put my rotary mat on top of my Steady Betty, so I make sure I don't hurt my Steady Betty. And I have a ruler and my rotary. And again, we're just gonna trim right on the stitched line. So this little line that basted everything in place, that's where we're cutting right now. So just make sure you're right on that line. And what this is gonna do is give you that perfect trimmed block. You'll be able to just sit this safely in a, maybe in the box that we ship everything to you in, or you can put it in your binder with your patterns, or in a nice little drawer or a plastic container, however you store your blocks so they're nice and safe and you don't lose any. That's where you'll want to put this. And again, just right up to that stitched line. There we go. And because I'm trying to work within the camera, I don't have my long ruler. It'll be much easier for you at home with the right length ruler. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna pull my stabilizer out from the back, and we're ready to go. I just love it. So just gently pull this. So I like to use that tearaway stabilizer because it's nice and easy. And if you have a little string from this original line, no worries. Just give it a little trim. This one little, you know, that little basting line for us. There we go. Just pull your stabilizer. You get the drift. I won't make you watch me pull all the stabilizer out, but pull all that out. And your block 3 is ready to go. It's so cute. Again, this is the tutorial for making the block 3. If you're not a member of the club and you've watched the tutorial, go on and join. You can join anytime. You'll always start with the first block, and they come in a super cute box every month. And this is a collaboration with our friend Amy Brooken of Amy Brooken Designs, and then of course us at Stitches of Luck. Thanks for watching the tutorial. Thanks for being a member of the club, and happy stitching.